Toxic tips to consider when buying a home. So you're buying a home, congrats. But what if I told you that your dream home could be hiding a nightmare? Not a haunted house kind of nightmare, but something even scarier. Hidden toxins that could harm you and your family. So most buyers focus on square footage, kitchen upgrades, or how nice the backyard looks, but very few people stop to think, is this home safe to live in? Before you sign those papers, you need to know about toxic dangers lurking in some homes, things your lender might not check for, things you should check for, and how to protect yourself. Because let's be real, the last thing you want to move in and find out your home is poisoning you. So let's dive into the toxic truth about home buying. What your lender will check for now. You might think, well, my lender's going to check for everything, right? Wrong. Your lender is mainly concerned about protecting their investment, not necessarily your health. But there are some key things that will come up during the home buying process that you need to be aware of. So, lead paint, especially peeling lead paint. So, if you're buying a home built before 1978, lead paint is a real concern. Back then, it was totally normal to use lead-based paint until we figured out that it could cause serious health problems, especially for kids. So your lender won't require a full lead test, but they will make sure that peeling lead paint is noted in the appraisal. If it's chipping, it can get into the air, on surfaces, even into your food, and it's not good. Waste site proximity. So nobody wants to live near a toxic dump, right? But you'd be shocked at how many homes are built right next to waste sites that can leak chemicals into the groundwater and air. So your lender will check this because a home too close to a hazardous site might be considered a bad investment. But here's the kicker. Just because a lender approves your mortgage doesn't mean the area is safe. That's why you should use the EPA website search tool to see if you're buying home near an environmental hazard. So what you as a home buyer need to check for. While your lender looks out for their money, you need to look out for your health. And that means checking for toxic dangers that aren't on the lender's radar. So mold, that's a sneaky destroyer. Mold is more than just an ugly spot on the wall. It can absolutely wreck your health. So black mold is the worst, and it can cause respiratory problems, headaches, even neurological issues. So mold thrives in damp areas like basements, bathrooms, and attics. And the good news is a mold test can catch it and a specialist can remove it. So if you smell something musty, don't ignore it. That could be the first sign of a hidden mold problem that could cost thousands to fix. Radon is another one. It's a silent killer. It's a radioactive gas that comes from the ground and you can't see it, smell it, or taste it, but long-term exposure can cause lung cancer. So many homes already have dangerous levels of radon and homeowners don't even know it. Fix, order a radon test. If the levels are high, install a radon mitigation system to vent the gas outside. Sounds simple, right? But so many buyers skip this step and unknowingly expose their families to dangerous radiation. So waste site proximity, again, because it's that important, and we mentioned this before, if your home is near an old landfill, industrial site, or chemical plant, toxic substances could be in the air, water, and soil. So what can you do? Look up the area's pollution history using the EPA waste site search tool. Check the water quality reports, more on that in a second, and then ask neighbors if there's been any environmental issues. If you find red flags, walk away. No dream home is worth risking your health. Lead paint and asbestos, the hidden hazards, we'd already touched on lead paint, but asbestos is another danger, especially in older homes. So asbestos was commonly used in insulation, ceilings, and even flooring until people realized that it can cause lung disease and cancer. Here's the problem. If asbestos is left undisturbed, it's usually fine. But if you start renovating or repairing, asbestos particles can get into the air, and that's when it becomes deadly. So testings for asbestos and lead paint isn't mandatory for every home purchase, but it's worth doing if you're buying an older home. So water and septic, what's really in your tap water, you want to know. So if your home has a well and septic system, your lender will likely require testing. But even if your water comes from a municipal supply, that doesn't mean it's safe. Lead, bacteria, and other contaminants can be in city water. Even well water can get contaminated by nearby farms, factories, or waste sites. So what can you do? Request a water quality report from the city. You can order a water analysis test for extra peace of mind because trust me, you don't want to find out your drinking water is toxic after you move in. Final thoughts here is to protect yourself and your family. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions of your life, and you deserve a home that's safe and healthy. So before you fall in love with the big backyard or the open concept kitchen, make sure your dream home isn't hiding toxic dangers. So here's what to do next. Schedule a home inspection that includes mold, radon, and lead paint testing. Check the home's location using the EPA Waste Site Search tool. Test the water quality before you start drinking from the tap. And if you're feeling overwhelmed or need expert guidance, I'm here to help. If you're thinking about buying a home and want to avoid these toxic pitfalls, let's talk. Click a link below to book a free consultation with me. I'll walk you through the process, answer your questions, and make sure you find a home that's not just beautiful, but safe. Let's make sure your dream home doesn't turn into a toxic nightmare. Book a call today. I'm Wade Betz, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy and safe house hunting.